Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Peace and Plenty in 20. I am so excited because today is one of those days where I get to have a special guest on, and not just a special guest, but somebody who actually does a lot of the same work in ways that I do. So I'm very honored and thrilled to have Anya on our show today. And Anya, instead of me, I have your bio, I have your story, but instead of me doing it, I would love for you to just share with everyone what it is you do and take it away.
Yes, thank you, Janine. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be a part of your show. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to have this chat. Like when I reached out to you, I'm like, we serve the same audience. We kind of do similar type of work, but we use a completely different medium. So my medium is through photography, and I am a boudoir photographer. So I help women see themselves in a new light, fall in love with their bodies again, and feel empowered through this experience. And there's a lot of therapeutic work that goes into what I do. It's not just pictures, it's a lot of reflecting, positive self talk, and just really accepting yourself at any stage, any shape, any size of life, and kind of moving forward and feeling good about yourself.
So empowering. So let's back up for a moment. How did you wind up in this field? Like, what led you here? What made you want to do this?
So I have a fine arts degree and I started my photography business about 15 years ago in weddings. So I was a wedding photographer for about 10 years. When maybe a few years in, I fell into boudoir. I found it through like a workshop and realized I want to add it as like an add-on for my bridal clients. And then it started to get more popular because then the bridal clients started telling their friends, and then all of a sudden, non bridal clients started to reach out to me. And then all of a sudden, some older clients, women in their 40s, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. It made me feel so, more valued. And I loved working with women on a deeper level so much more. And this is a pivot moment for me. When I was pregnant with my second daughter, who is, how old is she now? She's 7. So 7 years ago, I was pregnant. I'm like, I cannot do this on weekends anymore. I can't be a wedding photographer on weekends. I'm missing all the fun moments with them. And I'm like, I need to change this. I need to change my wedding business to only do boudoir. I never looked back because it's so much more fulfilling. There's no like stress or crazy or drunken uncles. I get to work one on one with women and help them see their beauty. And it's just so rewarding and it's like so much more meaningful where like I get to help these women feel amazing and I hear so many wonderful stories. So that's when I shifted my business and now I'm only doing boudoir photography. And yes, my clients still do kind of fall into two groups. There's the younger brides, but I really do connect more with women over 40. I'm over 40, so I'm like, these are my gem clients. We vibe together. Or, women in their 50s, 60s, or older, and just trying to work through the changes that happen in our life. And it's just such meaningful work. So that is why I am now full-time boudoir, and I love sharing what I do with the world.
And your photos show it because I've had a chance to look through some of your galleries. We can see some behind you. I mean, they're gorgeous.
Thank you.
So, Anya, I hear the word boudoir, and I see the photos and I know what it means. But can you just tell in your own words what are boudoir photos, or what does it mean to be a boudoir photographer?
Sure, absolutely. That's a great question. So, in my words, my vision of boudoir, it's an experience through the means of photography for a woman to be celebrated through her essence and her beauty. But really, it's a feminine experience to really kind of see yourself in true light, fall back in love with your body, your image now, without having to wait to lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds, feeling younger, feeling older, or whatever. It's really about celebrating yourself now through photography and to see yourself in a new, beautiful light.
So, what would you say to someone who is like, wow, I wish I could be brave enough to do that, or I would love
Mhm.
to have pictures like that, but there's no way I could feel comfortable in front of the camera like that.
Yeah,
And I mean, like, I would say just for myself too, like, I feel I've done a lot of work on getting comfortable in my skin and my body.
right.
And to be honest, it's something that I plan to do, but
Hmm.
there's definitely a little bit of anxiety, fear. So tell me about the work that you do with women to help them
Yeah.
overcome that.
Yeah. Well, step one is to have a conversation, right? Step one is just to connect on a personal level. We're not going to just jump in front of the camera. We have to have a talk. So, in a way, there's that therapeutic work that begins from
Yeah.
the initial conversation. And I always do a Zoom meeting with all of my clients. We have a little chat. I'm trying to understand why they would even want to do this, like why now, why it's important to them, and also sharing with them that whatever they're feeling is perfectly normal. Those nerves, that fear, it's absolutely normal. I don't think I've ever worked with a woman who's like, yeah, let's go, let's do this.
Mm,
Everyone has that initial block, those nerves, but it's okay to feel that. It's perfectly normal. So by having that conversation, that is step one to feeling comfortable with me and trusting me and my process. We discuss the entire process of how it's gonna go, what we're gonna do. We plan out the outfits. We talk about their comfort levels, and I also share with them that when they do a boudoir shoot with me, it's a full-on experience. It's not just like I said, show up, start taking photos.
right.
We include hair and makeup. So by the time you come into our studio, and our space is it's kind of like, it's very homey, it's very cozy, it's got such great energy. I'm really into like vibes and energy. We got the candles going and everything. But so they'll have their hair and makeup done, sip champagne if they want to, or water, whatever. So they have a full hour to kind of like sit back and get comfortable and, get cozy and just kind of like reassured in this space, feel safe in this space. And while they're in hair and makeup, we talk about all those fears and the troubles, and we talk about everyday girly chit chat, whatever they're going through in life, and connect again on that level. So by the time she steps in front of the camera, she's already feeling a little bit better. But still, that is if she committed to come, right? So what else
Right.
can I do to help her ease those nerves? So besides the fact that talking about the outfits, because a lot of women have this misconception that boudoir equals nudity, and it doesn't have to be. And boudoir, it's really just a beauty photo shoot. So if you want to wear a cozy sweater, or if you want to wear a gown or a blazer or jeans and a top, you can. You don't have to be wearing lingerie. If you want to, you can. And if you want to do nudes, you can, but there is no rule where you have to. But I always encourage my clients, like, bring a couple of other options, because once you're here, you might want to because you
Right.
feel comfortable. And also, I think it has a lot to do with just, when you work with a person on like one on one, and they trust you and they trust the process,
Mm,
they just kind of open up a little bit. Women come here. I've heard women say, like, I've never felt this comfortable half
mm.
naked in front of anybody, let alone my husband or whoever, my partner. But there's just something about this space, the one on one connection, the whole process that makes women feel a little bit relaxed, and they trust the process, they trust me. And also, what happens when you're actually in front of the camera? There's this, like, I love this moment. It's like I live for it. I live for it with every client. A client steps in front and they're so nervous, and they're like, and I tell them, I'm like, see this nervous energy that you're feeling? And they're like, yes. I'm like, we're going to breathe through it. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'm going to pose you and you're going to look amazing. And then we start the work. We start posing and she starts doing it. And then there's like a moment where those nerves, they just fall away. It usually happens within the first 5 minutes of taking photos. And then I don't point it out right away. I wait a little bit longer and I'm like, hey, you're not nervous anymore. And all of a sudden the woman's like, oh my God, you're so right. It just falls away because you kind of, it's really just like trying anything new. When you're trying anything new that you've never done before, you're going to feel nervous, but also the nervous energy and the excited energy processes the exact same way in our body. So
Yep.
if you can just like change the wording around that, instead of saying I'm really nervous, just say I'm really excited and it's going to be fine and you're going to love the experience.
And what I love about what you just said is that they're coming to be authentically them. It's not necessarily, oh, I'm going to, get naked. Like you said, bring a blazer, bring a lot of different options. And I think what's so powerful about that invitation is that you're saying, I want to see you, the authentic you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can just give themselves that permission
Yes.
and then build that trust with you, which I think is so important and probably why you get the amazing photos you do, is because it's almost like you're dating them a little bit to
100%.
build that
Yes.
connection, really kind of let some of your guard down. They can come and see how comfortable the space is, look at the photos of other women. And to me, that feels like, even just listening to you talk about the experience, that there's something so exciting and empowering about that.
Yes.
I'm just curious, do you have, like, I'm sure you have lots of stories, but do you have, like, I don't know, a favorite story or a client story that really just for you is what fuels your passion that we can see so obviously?
Yeah, you're right. I do have a lot of stories. Some, like I said, I meet some one of like incredible women with incredible stories. But one resonates with me so much. She is my inspiration, really.
Oh,
So I didn't meet with her over Zoom. I had a phone call with her because she's a little bit old school. Um, so she calls me up and she's like, Anya, I want some photos. I have this boyfriend and I just want some like sexy photos for him, but I also just really want this for me. I'm a grandmother, I'm a mother. I've been this someone like a caretaker for so many years. I just want to feel like myself again. And then she throws this in. She's like, I'm 74 years old. And it
wow.
was just like, oh my God. So her name is Connie. She shared her name with me. You can find her on my website. I photographed Connie, this 74-year-old grandmother, and she went like full on lingerie and shirt and some really cute outfits. But what was really amazing is like the I guess the bravery of her. And it just
Mm,
kind of reminded me, I'm like, if you're 40, if you're 50, like, why do you have to wait till 74 to take these
right.
photos and feel beautiful, to feel like yourself again, to feel like not a mother, not a grandmother, not a dog carer or anybody else? How about take a moment to take care of yourself, to feel good again in your skin, and to be yourself again and beautiful and be like, yes, this is me. And of course, some cute and sexy pictures for the boyfriend. That was really secondary, we turned out to be. She really did it for herself. And it was just so empowering and beautiful. And another thing I want to add, so when she was here, it's interesting because I talked about we offer hair and makeup for our
Mhm.
clients, but she's 74 years old. She's like, I'm gonna do my own hair and makeup. I'm like, the heck you will. Of course you will. You know exactly what you want because by 74 you know how you want to look. So she's like, I'm doing my own hair and makeup, and I got these outfits. She's like, she knew what she wanted. There was no more insecurity there. So
Mm.
we have something to look forward to. So by 74, hopefully we'll just be owning our power. So I mention her story to a lot of my younger clients, or really a lot of clients, because she was so empowering, so inspirational to me, and she's just like a reminder that we don't need to wait. We can enjoy it now and feel it now and, experience it now.
I I love that so much for so many reasons, but I think your point of sometimes we wait, right? And part of what I've been talking about this month on the show is body image and weight and literally that feeling that, well, I'll do that. And to be honest, I'm even a little bit like, well, I don't know if I'm ready yet, right?
Mm-hmm,
Like
mm-hmm.
I want to wait until I'm ready. So I think hearing that story is a great reminder of what are we waiting for? What are we it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the beauty that you're capturing and the essence that you're capturing in these photos is not like the typical, I don't know how to put this into words. Like when we look at like kind of, airbrush photos of celebrities, I feel like this is a different experience. This is
Mm-hmm,
even looking at like the photos behind you on the wall. Like
mm-hmm,
I feel like you're seeing into the person's soul, like who you
mm-hmm,
truly are.
mm-hmm.
And does that make sense? Does that
It
is that
does. It does.
can you
Like,
talk a little bit, what's the difference between like a photo for like just the way you kind of look as opposed to like I guess it's really about what is true beauty. What
it
is true
is.
beauty?
It is. It is really what's kind of deep in there. What sometimes maybe you're afraid to show. It's kind of being comfortable with the uncomfortable, but seeing it in a completely different light through my eyes, because it's really like it doesn't matter if you're at your heaviest or at your skinniest or at your ugliest. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It is about you right now. And like you mentioned that word essence, I love using that word. And I know we talked about outfits. It's not even about the outfits. I don't really care about what you're wearing.
Right.
You could be wearing a potato sack for that matter. I
Right.
want to photograph on the woman in front of me and really focus on her and how she's feeling and make her feel comfortable so that she can let go and just like shine and show off whatever is inside her, whatever she's been holding on to or hiding. And it translates into pictures because I focus on different expressions, different moods. Sometimes
Mm,
we move through the photos, we breathe through them, we laugh through them. Sometimes my clients cry in front of the camera because they have such
mm,
a emotional experience right there and then, but also like allowing them the space to be and feel and like just let them experience whatever they're feeling. And my job is just make sure I have them in a beautiful pose with beautiful lighting and click that button at the right moment where I'm gonna capture that beautiful essence of the woman that's in front of me.
I love that. And that's exactly, we're totally on the same vibe. That word capture was what came to mind. That you're creating this space to allow women to show up authentically and like you said, like they kind of drop the nervousness, they kind of whether they drop the clothes or not, they're in that moment just being themselves. And it's hard, nobody's ever capturing us,
Mm-hmm.
especially busy moms running around.
Mm-hmm.
Who's ever capturing like who we truly are?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where our work intersects, where the work that I do as a coach with my clients is helping them tap into and remember who they really are or start to step into. Maybe they've never even started to step into
Mm-hmm.
their truth and kind of let those things go. And that's where I think you and I have this great symbiosis where they can do this work, then they come to someone that I tell them that they can trust.
Mm-hmm.
and step into, wow, someone's going to capture this for me, because it can be very isolating. Even when we do this work on ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
our lives are going on in the background, and we're just mom, or we're just, sister, daughter, coworker, CEO, whatever it is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But what you're allowing them is this opportunity to say, this is me. This is the
Mm-hmm.
true, real me.
Mm-hmm.
And capturing that, I can imagine that there's a lot of emotion. Like you said, I could see, like, I can almost feel in myself, putting myself in that position, that I would be very emotional,
Mm-hmm.
kind of letting the truth out, and
Yeah.
allowing myself to be seen.
Yes. Yeah. And
So I do want to mention for our
yeah.
listeners, you have a special offer for any Peace and Plenty clients. So I just want to mention to my listeners, in the show notes, I'm going to put a few things. Anya, obviously, I'll link your website.
Mm-hmm.
I would also love to have them take a look at your studio so they can see what a beautiful space you have and the vibe that you create.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will also share special pricing, and just for our Peace and Plenty listeners to access, because I think this is an experience that can truly be life changing. It could come at the, listen, it could come, we talked about this, as my clients go through my program, it could come at the end of your kind of evolution with me. But honestly, it could also come at the beginning, and it could come at any time in any form, right?
Yeah,
And I
absolutely.
believe you're kind of flexible too, in terms of like a shorter photo shoot, a longer photo
Yeah.
shoot. And so if people want to get in touch with you, obviously I'll put it in the show notes, but
Yeah.
if you could just say it here so that our listeners can know where to find you and
Yeah.
learn more if they want to.
Absolutely. So my website is anyaphoto.com. That is ANYAFOTO.com. Or my Instagram is Anya Photo Boudoir. The word boudoir is spelled Boudoir. So you can find me there. But yeah, I really, if you're on my website, if you go into the About Me section, you can scroll and see photos of our beautiful studio. We're located in Paramus. You can always pop in and say hi. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay, so you know where to find Anya. Anya, thank you so much for being here today. The energy and the vibe to me is just so empowering and exciting, because this is something that so many women need and should treat themselves to. And I hope that those of you listening, through listening to Anya's description of the experience, that you will feel, maybe this is something I could do for myself. Maybe this is a way for me to take that next step and say, you know what? It's time for me to do something for me. It's time for me to remember how beautiful and wonderful I am, regardless if that's not how you feel on the day today. That's the kind of work that will not only, and you can add if you want, Anya, not only be a bonus for you, but I think when you can tap into your confidence like this, you become a better mother, a better partner, right? A better friend. It really changes you as a person to step into your authentic self and give yourself the credit you deserve.
Yes, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. It's one of those experiences that multiplies because, as we know, a confident woman shines and she shines her light onto the world and just makes everything better. So it's definitely an experience worth having. Thank you so much for having me on your show. Thank you for the work that you're doing, and I really appreciate you.
You're so welcome, and I feel the same. And we will definitely continue to talk about this and hopefully share photos and a lot more to come. All right, everybody. I will see you next week. Peace and Plenty in 20 is out for now. And make sure that you guys make it a peaceful and plentiful day. I'll see you next time.